Go time.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Two Crazy Guys, One Crazy World podcast. The podcast brought to you by your two crazy guys, Stacey and Chris. One a baby boomer and one a Gen X. Different generations, yet both crazy enough to want to bring you the crypto market updates and the crazy news of the day. So sit back and relax while we go through episode 59, September 6, 2019. Good morning, Mr. Bosell. How are you today?
All right, Mr. Deal. How about yourself?
I'm very, very well, thank you. Plodding along, singing a song, bird's eye fish fingers and all that sort of stuff.
Are you throwing out down there?
Well, yeah, it's actually not too bad today. I think that we've got probably a pretty good warm morning. I'm just checking for you now. Right now, my friend, we're expecting showers today.
Oh, well, there you go.
The current temp is only 4.
So balmy.
It's like a heat wave for us at this time of day. Heat wave.
Don't tell you we had 35 yesterday.
Did I tell you how much I don't like you?
35 degrees, and it's like spring just started. It's like that is insane.
We had 21, a forecast top of 21, and at 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, I went to pick up Teddy from school, and I walked outside and I was wearing a T-shirt.
Wow, a T-shirt? Just a T-shirt?
I walked straight back inside and got a tracksuit top because it's bloody freezing.
Dude, it's still September in Canberra. It's going to be freezing.
Yeah, but it was supposed to be 21. It was bloody freezing.
There you go. Chilly breezes.
Yeah,
no, there's no chilly around here, mate. I tell you, it was. In fact, it's still dry and still no sign of rain up here. So.
Yeah. Hang on. I'm just letting both of my lads know that we're live, so they can log in from America.
Oh, they're because I see a photo of them at where were they? I saw a photo of them at
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls, that's right. It was too.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So are they over there for much longer?
No, they're heading home this morning.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they're on their way home literally this morning.
Cool. All right, well, we should probably...
now, so they can log in. Yeah, they're my kids, so they'll probably say, What?
Dad, we don't care.
All right, Mr. Bosell.
We're going to share the screen.
Today, ladies and gentlemen, in keeping with our Friends theme, because we're all friends, aren't we? I mean, none of us want to whack the jeebus out of anyone. Today is the done. Today's the done.
Today's done.
Where everyone holds their breath. And the markets will tell us why. Go for it, Mr. Bosell.
The markets? Well, it can tell us all sorts of things.
It can indeed.
Well, today, it's telling us bugger all. Because it hasn't done much at all.
That's why we're holding our breath, ladies and gentlemen. In case you hadn't figured it out already, I'll tell you because I can't shut up. As Stacey will probably attest to, he goes to say something. I'm like, we're holding our breath because everyone is waiting to see which way the markets will go. Bitcoin has come out of the 9s. It's climbed into the 10s. It's got up as high as 10.7, 10.8, 10.9, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
Could be lying.
Just short of 10.9.
Yeah, and it's going, I think I'll settle at 10.5. So we don't know which way it's going to go. Some analysts say if it hits 10.4, it's going to the floor. If it hits 10.5, it's going to the skies.
So it's all in the words. It's all in the words.
That's right, absolutely.
Dear. So, as I said, last 24 hours, it's down 0.8%. So it really hasn't gone anywhere at all. Currently sitting just above 10.5 US. And though for the 7 days, it's looking pretty good. Bitcoin is at least up 8% for the week. But
that's not a bad return on your money, folks, for a week.
No, quite happy with that. But the rest of the top 10s...
bought a week ago, not 6 months ago.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, look, the rest of the top 10's not faring as well. So Ethereum's down 2% at 172. XRP's still around the 25 cent mark, down 1.8%. Bitcoin Cash at 288 is down 2.4. Litecoin still suffering, down to 64.66 now, down 3.7%. Binance is at 22.94, recovered a bit, up 5.9%.
There you go.
And in fact, that Binance coin's managed to jump back above Tether in the market cap. So it's retaken its sixth position.
Oh, look at that. By 5 million? Yeah, $5 million. Go you.
Yeah, that's just, isn't it? That's really just.
That is really just. Yeah.
So EOS. I can't speak proper.
Stacey's joining my land.
I did. I'm waiting for the caffeine to kick in. So anyway, it's at 322, down 2.6%. Bitcoin SV at 129, down another 2.8%. Cardano at 4.4, and it's down 2%.
But look at Monero. It's taking a little burst. It's up 4.5% in position number 11. It is trying very hard to get up there.
It is. It's still got a little way to go.
Yeah, look at Stella. I know we've gone past the top 10, but we've got to go still. Right?
It's only down 2%. That's pretty average for the rest of the top 10.
The analysis to me, one of the reports that I got said, buy Stella. So I bought Stella. What's Stella done?
It's gone down a little.
It's just having a little bit of a nap. over the 7 days, I think, what is it? Down 8.5%.
Down
8.5
for 7 days, yeah.
Down 12% the 7 days before that. Go Stella, thank you.
Yeah, it's all this. Just temporary, mate. It's all temporary.
It is. Market cap's down a little bit.
Yeah, market cap, and as we can see from the top 10, most of the alts have lost. Bitcoin is obviously doing pretty well. It's holding, but the money that's leaving the markets is generally out of the alts. So Bitcoin dominance, upper fraz at 70.7%. So and interesting, Ethereum's down under 7% in terms of dominance. So it's suffering.
Yeah, it is suffering, and I was actually quite surprised that the Ethereum prices back in the 170s and looking like it could go even further south. So not that long ago, it was a lot more than that.
Yeah.
So the number of our coins has grown again. We've got 5, 6, 1, 2 today.
Every day there's new coins joining in.
Slowly they climb. So, ladies and gents, if you ever happen to log into any of these ones like CoinGecko or Cryptograph and go for the market stuff, all you got to do is you click on the buttons for the 24 hours or the 7 days to check out who's the biggest gainers or the biggest losers, and you will be amazed at the percentages that some of these coins have made. Like you might see coins there with a 500% or a 2,000% gain, and then you have a look at their market cap, and it's like there's been one sale of $1. There you go, 40. Well, there's one there, third one down, 270%. The Exec token,
7 days,
and the 24-hour value. That's not bad, actually.
Biggest losers, 87. That's actually not too bad. Well, I think that's actually just this page.
That's that page.
Yeah, that's just this page. Yeah.
So you can see there, like Jex token up 270.1%. Could you imagine if you were one of the lucky people, because they've had a volume of 3 million, you bought $1,000 worth of that yesterday, and it's up 270%.
Yeah, but the problem is it could lose that much just as easily too.
In the next 5 minutes. Yeah, that's right.
That's what makes it so interesting, right?
It does.
And look, clearly we're not the only ones, because it turns out Apple has suddenly decided that cryptocurrency is also interesting.
I know. I read that. I actually said to Stacey this morning, I said, hey, there's a story about an Apple exec now. I'll read it to you and don't laugh. I said, cryptocurrency interesting, has long-term potential. I couldn't come up with it 5 minutes before we came on air.
Up there for innovation, Apple. It's like you're right. You're right at the forefront of technology there.
I think the headline was written with the direct purpose of raising that sort of reaction. However, if you go further down into the story, it does say that this would be a shot in the arm for crypto, because what Apple are actually doing is they're investigating it against the Apple Pay. Right now, Apple Pay, as you know, you've got your Apple Watch or your phone or whatever, you just go click, click, or ding, or scan, or whatever you freaking do. But there's over 1 billion transactions per month, 1 billion, 1,000 million using Apple Pay. Yeah. Could you imagine if crypto suddenly became a valid form of payment in Apple Pay? Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
And look, many in the industry have been, let's say, badgering Apple from the
Yes.
crypto space for
Oh,
at
I
least
wouldn't
the
expect
2
them
years that
touching Apple.
I've been investigating it
Yeah.
to pull their finger out basically, because they've also been very slow in allowing crypto apps in the App Store.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot of the arguments from the developers' perspective is
Mhm.
they've been very slow to approve and in fact have denied a lot of apps into the App Store in the crypto space.
Yeah, it's
So
quite funny, isn't it?
yeah,
Speaking of Apple, I got a survey of Apple yesterday. I've got an Apple Watch, ladies and gents. It's the first series though, so it's not one of the good ones now. But it was never good
it was all
either.
right. It's
I got
first
a
series.
survey.
It was all right.
I got a survey of Apple yesterday, and they said, "Oh, we know that you've got the watch, and after all this time, we're just wondering what you think of it. Could you please take 10 minutes to fill in the survey?" There's not one question in the survey about the watch.
What?
There was not one question about the watch. It was
What was the survey about then?
what Apple products do you own? How do you feel about Apple? Would you recommend Apple?
Well, that's all about the watch.
Yeah,
That's all
oh,
relevant.
absolutely. Yeah, totally. Yeah, like, do you have a Mac? Do you have an iPad? Nothing about the watch, except then when we got to the last page, do you have any other comments? Yes, love Apple, hate the watch, fix the battery.
Yeah, but look, I got Series 2, and I got to say it's pretty good. I get 2 days of use out of my watch without
Yeah,
any drama.
but I get anywhere from 8 to 14 hours out of mine,
Okay.
which makes it pretty damned useless. I've
Yeah.
had to turn off all the notifications,
Yeah. Right.
just all of them except the phone and the message.
How old's that
To
now,
get,
though? That's got to be a few
oh,
years old.
4 years. 4 years old.
Only 4?
Only 4 years. It's 4 years since I went to America, and I bought it when I got back from America.
No, think about it. How many batteries do you know that last 4 years?
Heaps.
Name them, because I don't have any.
Barry, James, Stephanie.
No, in saying that, I mean, my MacBook Pro that I've got, I recently took into Apple because the battery on that is only lasting me about 45 minutes. And which I suppose technically still works. It just works on a much shorter
Yeah.
time frame. But the rest of the computer's running fine. And it's 7 years old now. I didn't realize it was so old. So anyway, more crazy news. Bitcoin is using less energy despite record hash rate, new data shows. Now, this
That's
is all,
because we've got cleverer machines.
well, that's part of it. The other part of it is the move to sustainable energy solutions, right? So it's always been, and to be honest, this has sort of made me laugh a little bit, but the one of the arguments that the Bitcoin naysayers have always thrown out is that uses so much electricity, the power usage is off the charts, blah, blah, blah. It's like, sure, but two things. One, the energy that's used to maintain the network and everything is part of what gives it value, right? Just part of it.
Yeah.
But the other thing is compare that to all the power that the banks use to do the same thing, right? It doesn't even compare. It's
true.
You look at all the banks across the world and all the power and energy consumption that they use to do exactly the same thing that Bitcoin does, and it's like, don't even talk to me. It's like it's not even close. It's not even close. So it's to me it's the most ludicrous argument. It's like us going for a ride down to the beach every day and putting a handful of sand in our pockets and taking it home, and everyone whinging and bitching because we're going to take all the sand off the beach. It's like it's ludicrous, right?
You told me you bought that sand in that sand pit.
Shh.
Stacey,
that was secret between you and me.
Stacey Basel.
So anyway, but as you said, the mining rigs that they're developing are actually getting more energy efficient, which is what happens with technology. Technology advances and moves on, which is pretty cool. But the other thing, as it actually says here in the bottom of the article, Bitcoin mining gets eco-friendly, right? So a study in June found that 3/4 of Bitcoin mining activity is powered by renewable energy sources. 3/4.
Oh, that works.
So that's a significant amount of power now that is actually being generated from renewable energy. So I think the argument around power is really a moot point now. So I thought
that's true, because if it's just being used, like if it's from your solar panels on the roof or whatever it happens to be, because that's green. Yeah,
that's right. You know, and there's ones like NGS Crypto who we've had on the show. They're utilising power from a hydroelectric scheme. So again, a green energy solution. So and a lot more mining companies are doing exactly the same thing. So all right, moving on. This was a good one. Now, and we've talked about this one a couple of times around the possibility or the reports that quantum computing is going to make Bitcoin useless because they're going to crack all the private keys, blah blah blah. Right? So, but as I said at the time, technology is going to continue to advance, including that for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. They're not going to stand still with where they are right now. And interestingly enough, apparently NSA are actually one of the ones looking into it.
I know. That's the funny part. That for me, that is the funny part of this, because you've got Trump and you've got Schiff and you've got Buffett and all these other people saying cryptocurrency is dead for the 390th time. It will never last. But the National Security Agency is trying to develop quantum-resistant cryptocurrency.
Yeah, but it's got no future. Absolutely. So I thought that's a very, very interesting. We don't know too much about it. It was just basically a side note that they're apparently the director of NSA in the new cybersecurity directorate says that the agency is proposing hardware and software standards again, which is all very cool. But also notes agency is working to build quantum-resistant crypto. So it's sort of a bit of a side note. So we don't really know what the go is, but like you said, the fact that they're even looking into it, I think speaks volumes, right? Speaks volumes.
Yeah.
So looking at the wider macroeconomic side of things, and this is what I love about the current financial system, stocks and bonds suddenly.
This is going to be called Stacey's Bank Buster.
It's like, so the powers to be say, we're going to resume our trade talks. So the market goes, oh, cool, excellent, everything's good now. We'll just buy up again. But poor old gold and silver got slammed overnight. In fact, I think I had a chart here.
Peter, gold had the biggest drop in 24 hours. Where are Peter?
Hello.
Oh, wow, he's very quiet.
Very quiet. So we went from 1552 down where are we now, 1518, which really is
it's nothing.
Oh wow! Look, and this is the thing from a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency perspective, we look at that and go, oh, it's lost 2%. Sneeze.
Half an hour.
It's like, so really? But the difference here, obviously, is we're talking about a market capitalization over $7 trillion worth of assets here.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Significantly more.
Yeah.
And if I look at silver, it's dropped almost 5%. So that's a big drop for silver.
That is a big drop for silver.
19 down from 19.6 down to 18.59.
Wow.
So for some reason silver got slammed overnight. So interesting. And then moving on, this is an interesting one. I think you brought this one up, mate.
I did. Now this is CoinLogic with the funny spelling is bringing crypto ATMs to Colombia and Peru, and in Colombia alone, there's going to be 20 more crypto ATMs. Which I know it's Colombia, and I know that historically Colombia sort of hasn't really brought cryptocurrency out into the world. They've bought more of a white powdery substance, but Colombia also has really good coffee. So I think that's how they got the white powder. Anyway, I digress.
You do. You are.
But 20 new ATMs. So it's still growing. It's continuing to grow. And the interesting part about that is 80% of Colombians are open to investing in crypto.
Yes.
Now, the
Yes.
alternate take on that will be, if you go off to America and you listen to, let's say Donald sees that and says 80% of Colombians are open to investing in crypto, that's because they've got those other plantations and they want to be able to shift their money.
Yeah, which is crazy because the research and the evidence actually proves it's cash they use.
Yeah.
Because it's far more anonymous and private than the cryptos. Yeah, absolutely.
Over 86% of Colombians are up to speed, familiar with cryptocurrency, which is like way up there in the world levels.
And this is the thing. It's and most of it's growing adoption right across South America because of their economic issues, right? And so when their own currencies are being devalued and they're struggling economically, people are going to naturally look for alternatives, right? And there's crypto.
I know, which also brings in things like, my crypto wallet, who we all know have had issues with their card and everything else. But when those issues are resolved, the regulatory issues around that are resolved, and you can actually have a valid Visa type with MasterCard type card for crypto, and you've got crypto ATMs, that's brilliant.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I see them, from my perspective, I see them as interim measures to help bring on mass adoption, because the reality is we actually don't need them, right? I mean, I can do all my banking now on my phone, right? Yeah. I've got my phone, I've got crypto on my little wallet, just as much as I need to, like the general daily account type thing. But you can transfer money straight off your phone. You actually don't need. All the ATMs do is it provides a way to. It's an on ramp from your fiat. Well, generally, it's a way to deposit your fiat to get your cryptos. That's what they use more so. But you can do it the other way.
But imagine it in the other scenario, right? Because we all know cryptocurrency is going to slowly get adopted out there as a form of payment. Let's use the Apple story for an example, right? If there's suddenly it's a thing of Apple Pay, but there's always going to be the smaller players. There's always going to be organisations in any shopping centre anywhere that haven't got it. So if you're living off your crypto, it'll come. But if you're living off your crypto and you've got a crypto ATM there that you can convert to fiat, you can still use this service.
Oh, look, absolutely, and that's what I mean. It's definitely, for me, it's an interim solution to help bring about mass adoption, because the reality is the crypto ecosystem doesn't actually need it to survive, right? Once we get to that point of mass adoption and everybody's using it, then these things become superfluous. We don't even need them.
Can you imagine what they're going to write about this in 100 years?
Yeah. It'll be interesting, won't it?
It'll be a fly on the wall then when they start talking about when cryptocurrency first came into the world.
Oh, look, yeah.
It will just, all those charts, all the charts that you showed of the fiat currency and the dominant currency throughout time, as they go through and how they devalue and gone. Yeah. It's going to be there. And this is what's so exciting about it. We're there at the beginning. Yeah, okay, granted, I really wish I was at the beginning in 2009, but that's irrelevant. But we're still at the beginning.
We're still in the early adoption phase. There's still a low percentage of the population that are invested in them. Yeah.
It most likely won't look anything like what it looks like now.
Oh, no, it'll absolutely move on.
But historians will be saying this is where it started. This is where the paper stuff slowly started to disappear.
Yeah, and it will. And here's actually, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and I've got to do some more analysis on it, but just a heads up. One of the things that, so these new bail-in rules that we've talked about for our banks, where the APRA can step in and take control of the bank's assets, which includes our deposits, right, and all that. Apparently, there's a clause that I think the IMF and across the G20 nations, something's written into it that will, if even one of the European banks gets into trouble, they can send out an email basically to the rest of the G20 nations and go, holy shit, we're in trouble, we need money. And they can go around and take 1-2% off everybody's bank accounts and provide it to the bank in trouble. They can just skim. They can just skim everybody's accounts.
1 or 2%. They can have my $1.25.
But it's it's not the point. It's like it doesn't matter how little it is. They shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
So I've got to look into that one because that blew my mind. It's like you've got to be kidding me.
If the government ever wants more of your money, what do?
Take it.
Exactly. What do they say? They say, all right, well, in this year's federal budget, we have a surplus. By the way, your tax has gone from picking random numbers, 38% to 43%.
Yeah.
So we're taking an extra 5 cents out of every dollar that you make.
Yep.
It's the same scenario, only the banks do it in private enterprise.
And what's more is through the banks, they have a way to control your money. And that's the real issue, right? They can come in and they can take your money, they can do all that, and you have no say. You can't stop it.
Due to ongoing costs and the rise and the devaluation and all of this other technical shit that you people out there won't understand, but we're being honest with you.
Trust us. Trust us. We're here to look after you.
Your account keeping fees that we haven't changed in 10 years, aren't we? Awesome. We're sorry, but they've gone from $10 to $11 a month. It's only a small rise. You won't feel it. That's 10%.
Yeah.
So done.
And meanwhile, their cost per transaction has dramatically reduced over the years.
Yeah. But don't believe that because we really do pay a lot for our electricity. Honestly, would we lie to you?
Oh, but Bitcoin uses so much electricity. Don't use that.
That's right. And besides, we've got the substance. You can hold it in your hand. Can you hold a Bitcoin?
Actually, you can. Yeah. Look, and I got to say, the self-sovereignty element of it is one of the strongest use cases for me. If I've got my crypto in my possession, the government and the banks can't take it.
Yeah.
That reason alone is enough to move to Bitcoin.
It is. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
On that bombshell.
This has been Stacey's Bankbuster. Also, September 6th, 2019 is coming to a close. We know you're sad. We know you want us to keep going. But
very sad.
Fortunately or unfortunately, whichever way you look at it, depending who we're talking to in the next little while, we actually have other stuff to do too. So have a great day. Have a great week. And we shall see you here on Monday. And don't forget, if you want your bling bling, you know where to get it.
Patreon. Yes, right. Come join us at Patreon. Have a crazy old day, folks.
Okay, guys. All right, buddy. Cheers.
See you, mate. Bye.